If you're like me, there's nothing more frustrating than buying a new or used knife and having the blade edge be super dull. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to get a razor sharp knife edge without breaking the bank. Hey, what's up? I'm Twiggy Wolf, and in today's video we're checking out the Edge Pro Apex Sharpening Kit, and we're going to take a knife from super dull to razor sharp. Before we get started, I just wanted to send a big shout out and thanks to all my viewers for all your support. If you're new here, welcome, and please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you aren't familiar with Edge Pro, they're an amazing company that loves helping their customers keep their knives unbelievably sharp while not breaking the bank. Hey, real quick question for you. What knife did you pick up this month? Let me know in the comments below. The kit comes with a sturdy carrying case. Inside this case, you'll find the base, all the stones, the water bottle, instructions with a DVD, and the jig arm component. You can easily place this base on just about any flat surface. The suction cups make it super easy to make it solid so it won't move around. Just make sure that the surface is clean and clear of any debris. After it's mounted to the table, you're ready to start prepping to sharpen your knife. To assemble the jig arm, simply loosen the screw nut and drop the jig arm down into the base. Then just make sure the screw nut is snug. On the jig arm, you'll see a few color marks. These will be the marks for your blade edge bevel angle. You'll want to get as close to the factory edge bevel angle as possible to save the life of your stones. You can easily find your bevel angle by using a bevel angle gauge, or you can just simply go over the edge with a Sharpie marker. Just make sure you go slow so you don't mark up your blade. With this kit, you don't need to strong arm it, and you should really let your arms relax. We should really let this jig do the work for us. Hopefully the majority of you will have a mostly flat blade. But if you have multiple grinds on your blade or have an intricate machined blade with a few cuts on it, you'll have to lay the blade edge down and let it rest on the base. Then you'll just simply adjust the jig bevel angle to account for this adjustment. Now you should be able to take a fine stone and lightly go over the blade edge. If you have the right bevel angle, it should take off all of the marker evenly across the blade edge. If it only takes off a small portion of the marker on the blade edge, you'll need to adjust the bevel angle until all the Sharpie on the blade edge is removed. Then you'll know you're good to start sharpening. Depending on how damaged the edge is, this will let you decide which grit stone you want to use. The more damaged the blade edge is, the more coarser grit stone you'll want to start with. If you have a semi-decent edge, you'll just want to touch it up and use a mid-range grit stone and start working it from there. With the right stone chosen, we'll start to hone the edge. This knife will be very dull since I purposely dulled it. So for this example, I'm going to start with my most coarsest stone. I'll adjust my base guide so the knife edge slightly sticks over the edge of the base. With my blade face resting on the top of the base, I'll relax both my arms and slowly slide the stone upwards against the blade edge. I will do this until a burr starts to form on the bottom of the edge. For the areas the burr does not occur, you'll have to revisit that portion of the edge. You'll want a unified burr across the whole knife edge, and then it's time to flip the blade over and do the same to the other side. We'll do the same process and move through the grits and go higher up as we go. The higher the grit the stone is, the more we will refine the edge and the blade will continually get sharper. You'll then repeat this process with each grit stone that comes in the kit. And you'll want to have a burr form on the bottom portion of the blade edge each time before you flip it over. As you work your way through the higher stone grits, you can spend a little bit of time and pay attention to marks on the blade. As you progress through the higher up grit stones, you should have a lot less marks on the blade, and this will ensure that the entire edge is very sharp. If you want to spend even more time and have this thing hair splitting sharp, they include 2 different grit polishing tapes, much like a leather strop, to refine the edge even further, and it is like buttery smooth after you use these. But in this case, I'm just going to use the finest grit stone in this kit for the sake of time. As you have worked your way progressing through the higher grit stones, you will eventually make it to the finest grit stone. We're now going to see what it does on paper and compare. This is what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like after. They also offer an array of accessories to make sharpening your knife even easier. They offer the Apex bench mount, which allows you to mount a C-clamp and mount it directly to a bench table. They offer the Apex retractable magnet, which makes it super easy to rest the blade edge on the base. They offer the slide guide, which makes it very easy to rest different blade types on the top of the base. All of these are sold separately on their website, and I'll leave a link below so you can check them out. So the Edge Pro Apex makes it super easy to attain a razor sharp knife edge. Quick question for you, what knife will you be sharpening next? Let me know in the comments below. If this video helped you out, you might consider subscribing, and make sure to hit that like button to help me out. For more videos on everyday carry, make sure to head on over to twiggywolf.com, and I'll see you guys in the next video.